Liver King first rose to fame for his absolutely insane physique and his unusual diet, consisting of raw meat, liver, and cow testicles. Because of these weird habits, Liver King was able to build a supplement brand that brought in over $100 million during 2021. Unfortunately for him, this success is now long gone, and instead he's having a deranged mental breakdown in front of millions. Liver King, aka Brian Michael Johnson, was born March 2nd, 1978 in Ciba, Puerto Rico. He wouldn't stay in Puerto Rico for long though, because his father was actually in the US Air Force, so he was simply stationed in Puerto Rico at the time of Brian's birth. Shortly after Brian was born, he and his family were relocated to the Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, and it was here that Brian's life would become a lot more difficult. The reason I say that is because his father died suddenly while stationed in Texas, and at the time, Brian was still an infant. After the death of his father, things didn't get any easier for the Liver King. According to Brian, he was a pretty small kid and even had a speech impediment, which led to Brian being on the receiving end of some pretty severe bullying. And I don't mean hurtful words bullying. Brian claims on his first day of middle school, some kid punched him in the back of the head so hard that he was knocked unconscious. But in between the beatings, Brian found a love for BMX and fitness. This obsession with fitness and health continued into his college life at Texas Tech University, where he majored in biochemistry. After graduating college, Brian would leave San Antonio for Houston, where he was trying to become a pharmaceutical sales rep, and this actually went pretty well for him. He claims his annual income was in the ballpark of $200,000 per year. After a few years in pharma sales, Brian decided to leave his cushy sales job and buy a dental practice with his wife, which was called Dentic Dentistry. He also claims that this dentistry was making over $2 million every year and peaked at around $5 million a year, which would make most people happy, but not Brian. Instead, he chose to leverage this business and get into real estate, securing his first commercial property for $2.7 million that he would attempt to rent out for $50,000 per month. But this investment wouldn't pan out the way Brian hoped. Instead, it got the family into a pretty deep hole of debt. In an effort to keep the property in his name, Brian decided to sell the dental practice around 2010 for just over $3 million. And it actually worked. He was able to pay off enough debt to keep the property alive. It was also around this time that Brian and Barbara found out they would soon be welcoming kids into the world. So upon the sale of the dental practice, Barbara retired and became a full-time mother. Fast forward about 5 years, and Liver King launches his supplement company known as Ancestral Supplements. According to Brian, the success was almost instant, claiming they did over $3 million in revenue the first year of operation. Despite the almost immediate success of Ancestral Supplements, Brian wanted more. So around 2018 to 2020, he helped start 2 other companies. One called Heart and Soil, which is another supplement brand, and another called Medicine Man Plant Co., which focused on regulating blood pressure through a quote natural pill. As you can see, the life of the Liver King and Liver Queen before social media was mundane during certain times, but it definitely crossed into luxurious at other times. Either way though, the business success and failures Brian faced before social media could never have prepared him for the catastrophic and flat out psychotic downfall he would soon experience. After a few years working in the real world, Brian began posting on social media as the Liver King in an effort to bring attention to his supplement brand, and almost immediately it took off. He first started posting back in 2021 on both Instagram and TikTok, with his content mainly consisting of videos like this.
What up, Primals? Liver King here. Welcome to my channel.
Surprisingly, Brian went viral in his second post on the platform, achieving over 1.5 million views on that video alone. Despite the overwhelming amount of comments already calling Brian out for using steroids, he was able to grow his account into millions of followers and was building a fan base of very loyal customers. Overall, 2021 was an insanely good year for Liver King. He grew to millions of followers on social media, brought in billions of views to his wellness brands, and was able to generate over $100 million in revenue because of his social media. But little did he know, this would all come crashing down much sooner than he could ever expect. The year of 2022 was also pretty good for him. However, towards the end of 2022 is when the turning point in his career happened, but we'll get to that in a moment. In May of 2022, Brian was brought on to the Impulsive podcast hosted by Logan Paul. Throughout this podcast, they focused on his diet, his beliefs, and his overall life.
And people are suffering today with depression, with anxiety, with autoimmune conditions, with infertility, right? They got low energy, they got low libidos, they got low ambition in life. life. What I'm proposing, my thesis is that there's this simple, elegant solution.
Honestly, Brian did really well in this interview, and most viewers seem to agree, with the general message being they liked him more after this interview than they did before. Over the next few months, Brian would be broadcasting to millions of people through some of the biggest podcasts on the planet. In May, it was Impulsive. In August, it was The Diary of a CEO. In September, it was the H3 podcast. And in October, it was Bert Kreischer's podcast. At first, it sounds amazing for Liver King that he was able to be featured on this many prominent podcasts in such a short amount of time. But in reality, they made the exposing of Liver King much more embarrassing. He claimed multiple times during these interviews that he was in fact natural and not on steroids. But just 1 month after Bert's podcast, Brian was exposed for spending over $100,000 per year on steroids. In November of 2022, Derek from More Plates, More Dates obtained emails that showed he not only had been taking steroids during his social media rise, but was even looking to increase his dosages.
Here's what I'm currently taking. So here's this stack, IGF-1 LR3 presumably. Been taking this for a year. CJC with IMAP, been taking this for a year. So here I'm assuming he's talking about CJC 1295 drug affinity complex. Like there is a difference between, there's mod GRF 1-29, which is like a shorter acting. We'll get into it later as far as like what GHRPs are, GHRHs, etc. But this is like a peptide combination, CJC 1295 with DAC, I'm assuming he's talking about, with ipamorelin, I'm assuming, not IMAP. I'm sure he's just hastily writing this, hence why there's like missing shit. But CJC with IPAM is a very, very common combination.
This news breaking was obviously a bad look for Liver King, since he adamantly denied the allegations. But it honestly wasn't the end of the world if he handled it better. In response to being exposed, the internet obviously was going crazy over it, but Liver King himself would go into hiding for a bit, and then in December he released an apology video on social media.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied and I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous.
If you want to watch the full apology from Liver King, I'll have it linked below, but if you couldn't tell from that clip, I'll summarize. He basically did the classic influencer apology. He said sorry, blamed it on some stupid virtue signaling reason, and then ended the video. At first, Liver King kind of dipped after his apology. He began traveling more and started posting videos like this.
Here's the thing. If you do all 9 ancestral tenets, sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, and bond, you will turn into one of us. Either the Liver King or the Simba King, to express your highest and most dominant form, to express your highest and most dominant holistic animal form. This is what happens.
And then a little bit after that, he started going on a few podcasts again to try and clear up the image, starting with an appearance on the Sunday Conversation show. Then a few days after that, he popped up on Andrew Schulz's podcast, where he not only seemed a bit emotional, but told viewers that he would be dropping the steroids and going natty.
I believe so deeply in this message and the 9 ancestral tenets and the ancestral living. To answer your question, yes.
Okay.
You would go natty.
Yes.
So are you going natty? That's it?
Yes.
For the next few weeks, Liver King would continue posting his usual content all over social media, featuring raw meats, wild animals, and stereotypical alpha male content. But his redemption parade was short-lived, as a $25 million class action lawsuit was filed against him towards the end of December. This lawsuit stemmed from the claim that people felt duped by his marketing, and even said it was deceptive. Although I agree with that claim, it would seem the man who opened the lawsuit would disagree, because just a few months later in March of 2023, the lawsuit was dropped for unknown reasons. This point in time is when most people thought Liver King had reached his rock bottom. He got exposed for pinning roids up his ass while claiming natty, and $1 million lawsuits had started rolling in. But somehow these people were wrong, and the Liver King's reputation would take an even bigger beating in the years to follow, in the form of meth allegations, arrests, and terroristic threats. Throughout 2023 and the first half of 2024, there wasn't much happening inside the Liververse. The biggest news in my opinion was the fact that after a little more than 200 days, he hopped back on the roids. But other than that, there wasn't much going on. His content was the exact same and it became very repetitive. So let's fast forward to August 10th of 2024. In the clip I'm about to show you, Liver King is doing his classic rant about the food he's eating, but I want you to pay close attention to his eyes.
The strongest egg yolks in the world belong to Liver King. Can you hold your egg yolks like that? Nope. Oh. Strength, power, Courage, mastery, honor, above all else, loyalty, Liver King.
Why on earth is one pupil so much bigger than the other? From what I found on Google, it's either some type of head trauma or drug use. And with his behavior to follow in the coming days and months, it makes more and more sense. I mean, the dude literally started praying to mangoes.
Brother Mango Tree, thank you for your fruit. Today my prayer is to ask for just one perfect day. To walk in the uncommon favor with the uncommon hand for the uncommon man. To strive, claw, bleed, and fight like a barbarian, and to serve like a king. To be in a constant state of gratitude, endowed with the capacity to orient myself to receive all of the cosmos's energy, beauty, intelligence, everything that's good and true.
But I've got news for you. If you think praying to mangoes is wild, the month of September got even worse. Aside from the schizo content he started posting, it also became pretty evident that he didn't downsize his roid dosage at all. If there were any changes, it was most likely an increase. There is just no way a gut like that can be healthy. It looks like he's about to explode. This next video I'm going to show you might be my absolute favorite Liver King video. He sounds batshit crazy and took a page out of King Cobra's book because it would appear he started making mead.
This be what I be working on. That'd be a Bible that the pilgrims brought over from like 1611. It's really easy to open. Uh-oh. I don't want to break it. There's a certificate and everything. Look at this. Look at the beauty that this is. I had a date somewhere on here. Okay, but there be some delicious blood. That's Viking, delicious fermented alcohol, homemade moon Viking. You can see there's a lot of good I've been up to. I've been real busy creating the revival to be continued. Liver King out.
There was quite a bit going on in that video, so let's do a quick recap. He's sitting on the floor while struggling to open the Bible, drunkenly pans the camera over to show his mead, while also capturing a loaded firearm pointed directly at him on his table. What the f***? Somehow, the Liver King seemed to survive his drunken TED Talk and 9 days later ended up in a Polish crack house smoking cigs and pounding some Polish brews.
You'll never fucking believe my best day here in Poland. I'm smoking a Polish cigarette, drinking some Polish beer. I'm here with my new Polish friend.
Ja zawsze będę z tobą. O tego serducho. Essa.
It's why he said it. It's how he said it. It's not what he said. It has nothing to do. We can't communicate with words or metaphors for something where it's called love and light and paradise. I bled every last drop of blood I needed to bleed, and now I will succeed. I will imbibe, and I will love this fucking life while I'm here. Yeah, boy. Liver King and Uncle Eddie King. Yeah, boy. Out. Turn this motherfucker off.
Even though his rambling sounds like he just stayed up all night playing pool and blasting lines, what really sold it for me was the graffiti all over the walls. No sober person is going to willingly sit in that house. Those are the type of houses that you sit in when you're 16 and waiting for the weird guy your friend knows to bust out a bag. After the king got his fix, he seemingly went back home and had some health testing done, because on December 10th of 2024, he made a post on Instagram where he detailed the recent health concerns he's dealing with, which include a mass in his colon, a twisted kidney, a necrotic fold, which I think means a necrotic fold of skin, and finally a fatty liver, all of which are pretty serious. So obviously Liver King decided to finally clean up his act and, oh wait, no he didn't. Instead he decided to pound some more gear and lift heavy chains. Although the year of 2024 had finally come to a close, Liver King was nowhere near done digging the hole he would find himself in nowadays, because 2025 is when shit got really weird. During the entire month of June, Liver King was constantly posting videos of himself rambling incoherently while blaring some spiritual vibration music in the background. But all of this culminated on June 23rd, 2025, when Liver King made a video of himself calling out Joe Rogan while wearing a wolfskin headdress, holding 2 gold rifles, and looking more bloated than ever before.
Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King. Man to man. I'm picking a fight with you. Yeah. I have zero training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me. But I'm picking a fight with you. You'll rule. Whatever you want me to weigh, I'll weigh it. I weighed 190 this morning. I'll come to you whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to go. I'm on a vibration plate, by the way. That's what I'm shaking. Hold on.
After releasing that masterpiece, Liver King started posting some even more deranged videos to his Instagram, once again consisting of incoherent rambling and weird spiritual music.
Shit, that's pretty strong. Maybe stronger than time. I'll book into it with love, man. I asked you for an invitation. I am a man, a real man, and you could denounce me and call me the metaphors of all these other things, and I own it. I did it. I did all of it, and you can hate me and say these things, but you're not allowed to do that further than me. And when you do, and it touches my family, for the Jim Riggs and the predecessor Bryans of me.
I'm not sure what the f is wrong with him, but to me, it really seems like heavy drug use or brain damage. He's acting like a Miami crackhead who just hit the meth pipe after a 2-month tea break. And the craziest part is his entire family is there watching this.
I'm now recording while dealing with the cops outside.
Fine. God damn, this took a while. I'm so sorry. I take it back. God, thank you. For the perfect amount of resistance. So you're just picking up where we're leaving off. I just need to put stuff on. Just put stuff, because they're not going to take me naked.
Do you want the green? No. The green is better.
Whatever you gave me is perfect, Queen. Can I put my shoes on and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you need a new patch or anything?
You should record anything and everything. And when I go to the back, Justin's recording Fitzpatrick. He's got the most beautiful wife in the world. You wouldn't want to take most of them to prison. I wonder if I have to go. You should just record this right now. I wonder if I have to go and I'm on the shit. What happens then? Did they arrest you on the shitter?
All of his weird behavior would culminate on June 24th when he was arrested in Austin, Texas on charges of terroristic threats.
How about this? Keep recording. Stay there, okay? Can we go over here behind this door? She's gonna have a conversation with me.
Listen, just take this with a grain of salt, but they assured me he's going to be in and out.
Yeah.
It's like, we got to process you. He'll bail out, but we're talking probably 24 hours. I'm with him. Yeah.
And these items for you?
I want to take that with me.
Even though they sound like serious charges, it was merely a Class B misdemeanor, and Liver King posted a $20,000 bond the following day. Once he was a free man again, he began posting basically the same schizo shit, but his appearance was significantly worse.
Good morning, primals. From the vibration plate of the greatest state in the world, Austin, Texas. Texas is the state, just to be clear. Bags under my eyes. Haven't slept a whole lot, and it's been an amazing gift. When you fracture the physical, don't sleep, don't eat much, drink much. You go deeper into something else, you gotta maybe express something else. Something else. Ask me what the password is to Wi-Fi.
This is his arrest photo, and he really looks like he's dying. This is literally the type of photo you see on Instagram with a Florida man headline. Ever since his arrest, Liver King has been really losing his mind on Instagram, and somehow it's worse than before the arrest. Not only is he acting overall insane, but his ego and need for attention has reached an all-time high.
Guys, bring all those to me. Guys, all of them here. I'm talking, I'm obnoxious. No one's listening still. And look, they all went there. I'm just asking for everyone's attention. Can I have all of those models?
Oh, Sandra. I don't think we need them. Yeah, come stay, Sandra.
We never needed them. I already planned all of it out. All of it. So I'm just going to ask no one to talk and just do what I say for just 2 minutes. Because I want to relax and share. And if anybody's like, can I get my own cup? No. It defeats the whole purpose to begin with. This is barbarian water. It's delicious as
Here's the deal about real water. The water. You made that face, but like that's our earth. That's the mother.
I'll drink that too.
Yeah, I know that you will, but like we need to stop reacting with stuff that's actually like, you know what I mean, part of us.
Because of his recent descent into madness, the Liver King hasn't had many brand deals or collabs, but the Instagram page Santa Cruz Medicinals actually met up with the king to film a few videos. And because of that, we were able to hear Liver King's side of the story involving his horribly enlarged pupil.
Making all these videos and stuff about your eye.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about your eye is actually an amazing story, and you tell me if it's true, because I don't know, because it's the internet. An exercise band hit him in the eye.
Yeah.
You were potentially going to lose your eye, and you healed it. And now, is that these? Because you know there's crazy rumors.
Yeah, it's great because
a worm in his brain with the eye.
most people just say it's drugs.
Yeah, or drugs.
I was doing an exercise where I had it mounted on the walls. The first time I ever did this on the door handle, I had 2 bands at max tension. This is exciting, bro. This is exciting because I have 2 at like max tension. I'm gonna get these rear delts, bro. And the next thing I know, I wake up on the ground. So they came off the door. Both of them did. The door handle came off with it, and both of my heads, both of my heads. So it goes boom, 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 and I guess the band hit me right in the eye. I couldn't see out of either eye though.
So, as you just heard, Liver King claims that his eye is messed up because of one of his resistance bands breaking and smacking him in the face. Even though that could explain his messed up eye, the behavior he displayed after meeting up with Santa Cruz definitely tells a different story. Not only is he still posting weird spiritual music and rambling about sweet nothings, but he's devolved into responding to random comments on his page.
Why would you ask me if you could borrow $20 and then add please to the end? And the way that you said please at the end, it's as if you don't know how to use the word. I would first say why. Why do you want to borrow $20?
These types of videos are putting Liver King dangerously close to the lolcow category. I mean, these are literal Daniel Larson type videos. I'm really not sure if Liver King is on drugs, but to me it looks like it. And that would basically explain all of his recent behavior, including the threats to Joe Rogan. As for that situation, I really don't see it having too much of an effect on Liver King's life. At most, he'll probably be looking at a few months in jail, at the very most. But he's also got money, so I doubt he'll get sentenced to anything more than a fine and a restraining order when all's said and done. Even though I think the dude has absolutely lost his mind, and some of his recent videos have made me laugh quite a bit. I hope he gets the help he needs so we can finally see the deranged downfall of Liver King come to an end. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see my source of the video, check my Twitters at RedmanSpeaksYT. I have all the links posted there. I love you. Have a good one. Peace.